and welcome to Nelson All Over Cards. Today, it's a very, very special video because we are talking about a brand new card coming out in the NeXt Evolution box. And I have not seen this before, so we're doing a blind reaction, but I do have Caleb and Tony on with me so that they can judge my reaction and decide if they want to send me more cards to react to or not. But it better be good, right?
Yeah.
But how are y'all doing? Before we get into the card, real quick, how are y'all doing?
Doing great. Great to be here, Nelson.
Awesome.
Yeah, good. It's been a long time. Real glad to be back.
Right? It's crazy that we all decided to wear the exact same clothes as our previous video that we did together.
I get called out for that a lot.
Excellent. So we are going to take a look at a brand new card. I'm going to put it up on the screen or something. We'll figure out how to do that. I got a couple weeks to figure out how to do that. But I'm going to look at it now. I'm going to read it, and let's talk about it a little bit. So so it's a new player side scheme. It's a one-cost new player side scheme called Superpower Training. Victory 0. It's a basic card, and so more basic side schemes, which is really exciting. I really like the player side schemes mechanic. I think that's a really fun way to do that. And it says, when defeated, each player may search their deck and discard pile for an identity specific upgrade and put it into play. It comes in with 3 threat per player, and it has an energy resource icon. I don't necessarily see myself spending a energy resource. Are you spending this card as an energy resource? Because that seems pretty intense. So 1 cost, 3 threat per player. You get a identity specific upgrade and put it into play. Okay. Now my head's just reeling from the implications of what this could mean. I'm thinking like mind control. So 4 cost Phoenix card. I'm just thinking of the most expensive ones at this point. And like how but it is a basic card. Which I guess makes sense since it interacts with the hero kit. But talk to me around the design of this card.
Yeah, so this card is in Domino's pre-constructed deck.
Okay.
And for me, this is one of the things I've noted in playing lots of Marvel Champions games is heroes often have that one critical upgrade that they really want to see. And it makes a huge difference whether you see that at the start of the game or the end of your deck, the first time you deck out. And so this card was intended to be a little bit of a smoother. It's basically serves as a second copy of that really critical card in your deck. You have to go through some hoops in order to earn that card. But if you can clear the threat and pay the cost here, you get that upgrade for free. So that is super awesome. I've mentioned this before, but in this first wave, basically, I think all of the player side schemes have a per player threat cost in addition to an ability that every player gets to perform. And so it really feels like a team effort that we're going to make a concerted team effort to go and do this thing off on the side, setting aside any other pressing needs so that we all gain a benefit from it. And that was an important design element of the player side schemes in this wave.
That's really cool. And I didn't even think about that. I was just thinking about how we could break it. But it also, my favorite hero is Quicksilver. You get friction resistance out earlier, or because you can search your deck and discard pile, if you have this on the table, if you're playing a solo game as 3 threat, you have the potential to set it up so that you can take care of it and use friction resistance as a resource and then pull it right back. So you don't have to pay the full cost of friction resistance. So if you get it down to like 1 threat, you can then, instead of paying that 3 cost friction resistance, pull it back in. Ant-Man's helmet. Oh yeah, that's a really cool design. I like how you're able to. Oh yeah, that's fun. Caleb, what are your thoughts around the card?
Oh, that's the reaction we're going for, right? Like, it just occurred to me because it was in Domino's pre-constructed deck and not Cable's that I never started with this one, because Cable can find a side scheme right in his opening hand.
Yep.
It's been a while since I played, but that's what I remember. And I would typically choose his signature one. I believe that's been revealed, right, Tony?
Yes.
Yeah. And I would typically choose that just to unlock his like full potential. But I'm thinking like with this one, you might put that in Cable's deck and just get under the table right away, and everybody be like, from turn 1, you could be searching for your best signature upgrade. It
Yeah.
can be a big swing.
Yeah.
So yeah, it's gonna make the decision of which one to start with cable a very interesting decision.
I've seen a lot of people talking about it's call for backup, which is the leadership one where everyone gets to go put an ally into play. How in a higher player count game that can be a really cool starting, but also depending on the heroes now sitting at the table, if you have, Quicksilver, Ant-Man, and Phoenix or someone at the table, maybe they want those upgrades rather than their allies out. So it makes it a really interesting decision on how you want to start the game, and it could be very villain dependent as well. If there's a villain that comes out that hits you hard, like Magneto, and you need to do a lot of threat, maybe you want those allies first. Or if it's something that you have a little bit of time to build, this is a really fun card. I like it. Thanks for sharing.
Yeah.
Glad you like it.
Yeah. Oof. That's gonna be cool. That's gonna be very fun. Awesome.
It was a fun discussion, like early in the development process when Tony and I talked about player side schemes and then how they would work, but then also just there was kind of like a list of what they could do that just kind of exploded very quickly. Just like, oh my gosh, you could do this, you could do this, you could do this, like I think the fetch an ally and fetch an upgrade, those were all things like we're pretty high up on that list.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Because it's a really cool.
And what is the leadership one called again? Is
Call for backup, I believe.
Call for backup, yeah. Kind of I like that one as like a nod to like the side quest in Lord of the Rings as well, like send for aid or something.
Yeah.
Like that.
Yeah, you couldn't call it call for aid because that's already a card.
Right.
But yeah, it's a cool way to add a new cost to a card, right? Because you have effective resource cost, but then now you also have to manage threat. And so it's just it makes Justice feel good. Makes Justice feel pretty good. And now, Quicksilver Justice or Ant-Man Justice they're definitely throwing this in that deck build. So that's really exciting. Thanks for sharing.
Yeah.
Yeah, I like the story beats that they create too. As you're playing the game and you're creating your own narrative. It's like, what is this one called again? Sorry, I don't see the screen.
Superpower training.
See.
Superpower
training. Yeah, I love that. This idea of like, look, guys, we got to deal with Thanos, but we are not ready. We need to train first. I love that.
And
right. Yes. It's like the Rocky Mountains running in the sand on the beach. Flipping tires in an alley or whatever. Like, gotta.
And the flavor text is perfect because it says classes in section by Charles Xavier, so it thematically makes it feel very, very love it. Oh, awesome. Well, I'm gonna be thinking about this for a while. So
awesome.
Glad to hear. That's always the reaction I want.
Yeah, awesome. Well, thank you all so very much for hanging out. Thanks for jumping back on a call with me.
For sure.
But yeah,
let's try not to wait so long between doing that again like that. We miss you.
Yeah. We'll make it happen. Awesome. Well, thank you all so very much for hanging out. Let me know what you all think about superpower training in the comments, and I'm excited to see how we can break this card. Alrighty. See you around.
Bye.
Bye.